drawer where it's always at your fingertips. You can even store it in your glove box for the ultimate car vac. The HEPA filter helps remove dust and allergens. Plus, it dumps out with ease so it's ready to clean again. Get the Horsepower Duck hand vac for just $39.99. Order right now and we'll upgrade you to the Duck Pro package, a $30 value, yours free. You get the bendable tube, the crevice nozzle, and the soft brush nozzle, but supplies are limited, so there's a strict limit of 3 ducks per order. This may be your last chance to get yours at this low price, so don't delay. Duck it up today.
Call 1-800-693-3440 or visit duckvac.com. So call 1-800-693-3440 or visit duckvac.com now.
Hey everybody, I'm David Zere. You're watching Breaking Point on Real America's Voice News. I had an incredible week traveling last Monday on February 9th with Secretary of War Pete Hegseth and our super cameraman Jonas Sellers. And we traveled on the C-40 jet from Joint Base Andrews and went to Quonset Point, Rhode Island to the General Dynamics Electric Boat Division where we're making the Columbia-class submarines, which will replace the Ohio-class submarines. These things are massive. These people were awesome. 2,500 employees were screaming up and down, jumping up and down for Pete Hegseth and Donald Trump. It was really amazing. And then we did an enrollment ceremony for new recruits to the U.S. Navy, and Hegseth administered their oath of service to them. And then we were off in the jet again to Bath, Maine, where over 5,000 vessels have been made over the last 400 years up there, and General Dynamics took it over in 2020. It's the home to our guided missile destroyer, Arleigh Burke, Aegis class destroyers. These things are powerhouses. It's the most successful naval program since World War II. Check out all this great time we had on the ground, and just check it out. It's great. On the ground at Joint Base Andrews for Real America's Voice News, we're about to depart with Secretary of War Pete Hegseth on our way to Rhode Island for an enlistment ceremony, and then off to General Dynamics Electric Boat Division where we build and maintain our nation's underwater fleet, and then off to Bath Iron Works in Maine on the Kennebec River where they've made thousands of ships, including the Arleigh Burke destroyer class, the most successful shipbuilding program post-World War II, and we've got a whole new fleet of high-tech ships that'll be coming out. And this is part of Secretary Hegseth's Arsenal of Freedom tour and rapid capabilities, delivering new weapon systems at speed and scale to our troops, and we'll be bringing you more throughout the day.
Everybody. Good morning. How we doing? Hey, we're gonna forget there was a football game last night. All right, too soon. Great to see a room full of real patriots. Great Americans, great men, great women, willing to put the uniform on. So many around us here already wearing the uniform in this beautiful space. And then the families right in front of us who raised these great patriots. Who instilled in them the values and the virtues and the principles and the discipline necessary to make a really difficult choice, a choice that most Americans won't make, to raise their right hand to defend something greater than themselves, God and country and the Constitution. It's a really special thing. Spent the weekend with all my kids, like many of you. And you look them in the eye and you love them, and one of them broke his wrist this weekend, had to put a cast on. Play basketball. You go through the ups and the downs of life with these youngsters, and then they reach an age where they can make their own decisions. And I pray that as a father, We raise young men and women willing to think above and beyond themselves, that might be willing to wear one of these sweatshirts or t-shirts and raise their right hand and the country. Because it means you've instilled in them values beyond just what's right in front of them. That's critically important. And the nation needs that. You see, a couple of years ago, it was tough to get people to enlist in the United States military. The numbers were low and getting lower. They were lowering the goals to meet the goals. Last year, we set historic records of young Americans who want to raise their right hand to serve. And this year, we are breaking those records again. Because as President Trump puts it, there's a spirit in our ranks, in our country. And all of you are a reflection of that. And you're about to stand on the shoulders of giants. And so there are men and women just like you all around the world right now, right from the Red Sea to the Caribbean, the deserts and mountains, wearing one word. We're celebrating athletes in Italy as well. So it's pretty cool. 13 of them actually are members of our service. We have 13 military members as Olympians as well. And all of those folks in Italy are wearing Team USA. And you get to do that once every 4 years for the Winter Olympics. You guys wear Team USA on your chest every single day. And we couldn't be more proud of what you do and why you're doing it. And our job at the War Department is to have your back and then give you the systems out there that are second to none, which is why we're on an Arsenal of Freedom tour right now up here in New England, talking to companies who build the most sophisticated subs and ships and weapons that our nation needs. But what we said on this tour is everywhere we go, we want to stop and see young troops who are enlisting to serve our nation. Because ultimately, it is those men and those women who employ those systems. You are the real secret weapon of the United States of America. No other country produces young men and women like these. So thank you for the perspective you have and your willingness to make this choice. Thank you to the families who are giving us the most special gift you could give. It's our job to be responsible of that and ensure that we're trained properly, employing properly, and certainly you have a president of the United States who's going to have their back in every single circumstance. So congratulations to this group. Thank you for joining the most ferocious, disciplined, fighting force the world has ever seen. And some of you are going to be in some class.
Sorry about that.
This ecosystem of our defense industrial base, which is the best in the world. It truly is. I was over at Electric Boat. They make incredible Virginia and Columbia class, and it's incredible, exquisite. But it's also too tethered to an existing pipeline that has become too slow, costs too much, fixed timelines that always extend. We don't get what we need when we need it. Time and time and time again. That frustration emanates all the way from the Oval Office. Trust me. I hear it every day. We need more. We need it faster. We need these capabilities. Why don't we have enough? And that's where we turn to existing companies to do more, and that's a big part of it. But a huge part of the Arsenal of Freedom Tour and reviving our defense industrial base is opening up the aperture for new competitors, like AMAC. Because I don't actually care whose name is on the side of a submarine or a missile. What company? Don't care. Not my job. That's your CEO's job and the other company's job to outcompete who wins in that scenario.
What do we build?
the ground at General Dynamics Electric Boat Division here in Rhode Island. They're the largest employer of Connecticut and Rhode Island with 25,000 employees. They're adding another 8,000 employees. Pete Hegseth, the Secretary of War, about to take the stage here. We got this incredible crowd here. Unbelievable energy in the room here. They're going to be putting out, they're 66% done with the first Columbia-class submarine to replace the entire fleet of the Ohio-class submarines. These things have nuclear reactors that can last for 30 years. It's just incredible. The jobs, the enthusiasm, and the rapid capabilities concept through Trump's Defense Acquisition Executive Order that was codified in the NDAA. This goes across the services, and this is part of the arsenal of freedom toward Pete Hegseth. We'll be on the ground in Bath, Maine later at the Bath Ironworks, another General Dynamics facility. They're kicking out their Arleigh Burke guided missile destroyers. Incredible product here. We just kicked out the third generation with the Lewis Wilson. This crowd is really fired up here. Really awesome. Feels like America's back. David Zere for Real America's Voice News.
I need to use it.
I do. As countries have walked away in the past few years from the U.S. dollar, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, diversify into gold, into Birch Gold. And for over 5,000 years, gold has withstood inflation, geopolitical turmoil, and stock market crashes. And the great news is you can still get it. In fact, you can own gold and silver in a tax-sheltered retirement account. Birch Gold makes it easy to convert your IRA or 401k into an IRA in precious metals. And all you got to do is text the word America to 989898 to claim your free info kit on gold. With 20 years experience converting IRAs and 401ks into precious metal IRAs, Birch Gold can help you protect yourself with gold today by texting the word America to 989898 with an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau, thousands of happy customers and countless 5-star reviews. Secure your future with gold. Start today with a free info kit. Again, there's no obligation. Check it out. Make the request. Just text the word America to 989898. We'll be back with more Breaking Point right after this.
Poverty is unimaginable. There are people who are struggling.
This is where she washes the dishes.
If you're ever going to allow your Christian faith to rise and to do something for God's chosen people, now is the time.
This is the home of Galena. She's 96 years old.
This is what she had to eat for today.
She has one pot with water and wheat.
My father was killed by the Nazis, and I was an orphan. I didn't know about God. But now, in the cold, hungry nights, I pray for food to the God I've never known. There are good people that love you.
You see the tears. Scripture says joy can come in the morning, and you can be the reason.
Right now in Ukraine, elderly Jews are trapped in unbearable poverty. If you will bless these hurting children of Israel, you will receive God's blessing in return. Your urgent gift today of $25 will help rush a survival food box filled with life-saving essentials. Call, scan, or go online now.
I'm not exaggerating when I tell you, I don't know how much longer she could have waited for us to come.
I can't even grow my food anymore. What will happen to me? I'm doomed to starve.
Tens of thousands of elderly Holocaust survivors in the former Soviet Union are living in extreme poverty, hungry, and forgotten. But through the International Fellowship of Christians and Jews, we can bring them hope.
Eggs. It's my favorite food. May you be blessed.
You say to them, we see you and we're here to help.
Please don't delay. Call, scan, or go online now.
Guys, if you plan to retire in the next 20 years, or if you've already retired, I have a message for you that you need to hear. Central banks, BRIC nations, and our allies are pumping trillions of dollars back into America, but every dollar they send could make your savings worth less. Hi. I'm Donald Trump Jr., and I just want you to be prepared for the future. So protect your hard-earned savings with gold. A gold IRA from my trusted friends at the Birch Gold Group offers you the safety net of gold with the tax advantage status of a retirement account. To see how it's done, click the link below to get a free info kit on gold IRAs. This kit reveals why gold IRAs are exploding in popularity, so do it now. What do you have to lose? It's free and there's no obligation. Click the link below to get your free info kit from the Birch Gold Group.
Thanks for joining us. We had an amazing time on the ground at General Dynamics Electric Boat Division, making our new Columbia-class submarines. 2,500 employees came out, hard hat guys, the salt of the earth. These are the guys you want on your side. A lot of them veterans and sailors, but a lot of civilians there too. Their energy was just off the hook, and Hegseth was welcomed with open arms, and they love Donald Trump up there. Watch this.
Quonset Point, are you fired up? Well, then join me, as only 3,000 badass shipbuilders can, in welcoming the United States Secretary of War, the Honorable Pete Hegseth.
This is why we are on the Arsenal of Freedom tour. You know, right here in the front row, we got a lot of uniform members, Navy, sailors, good to see you. And it's actually the perfect visual, because we got uniform right here. They raise their right hand to serve this nation. They're going to be in these beautiful submarines that you're building. But look who's behind them. All those hard hats. Every single hard hat out here, and the jobs that you do and the way that you work enables these Americans right here in this front row to do their job on behalf of the American people. That's what the Arsenal of Freedom tour is all about. Yes, I just got done swearing in some young Americans who are enlisting in the armed forces. It's incredible. And look their families in the eye and thank their families for raising such great Americans who know that they serve something bigger than themselves, God and country and the Constitution. It's a beautiful thing. And we celebrate those folks, the real 1%, a lot. But what we haven't done in this country for far too long is also honor the men and women who do the hard work of American manufacturing, of American engineering, of American shipbuilding and welding, all the things that are done in this place that enable the kind of exquisite capabilities we're surrounded by that no other country on planet Earth can bring to bear. And before President Trump, he did it in his first term, he's doing it again. We lived under some internationalist, globalist fantasy that we could just outsource our jobs to other countries, outsource our capabilities and our supply chains to foreign countries, and float into some perfect utopian world run by international bureaucrats. Everybody in here knows that's fake. Everybody in here knows that's not true. And everybody in here knows that some distant capital run by bureaucrats and internationalists and globalists doesn't care about you and your family, doesn't care about the United States of America, doesn't care about our sovereignty and our borders, doesn't care about our jobs and our communities, certainly doesn't care about the defense of our country. But you do. But this company does. But this department What do we think of the new name of the Department of War? We are the Strength Department, built to ensure peace for our people. See, it's our unity that's our strength. It's our shared mission that's our strength. It's what we fight for together that is our strength. Training, discipline, accountability, readiness, lethality, the basics. What the military was built to do on behalf of the American people. We're not a social experiment. We're not doing social engineering. We're not doing social justice. We're not doing politically correct. We're going to fight and win our nation's wars. Yes, we're rebuilding our military. That's why we're here. Had a chance to spend time with your executives. They're driving fast. They're driving hard. They also know this is not about corporate profits. It's not about stock buybacks. It's not about CEO salaries. It's not about Wall Street. It's about real capabilities. It's about the workers that do the hard work. It's about ensuring folks are paid the way they should and treated the way they should. And that you're incentivized to invest in this business, in faster processes, so you're more efficient and more effective in what you do. Rebuilding our military, President Trump did it once, and we're doing it again. And it takes intentionality. It's not just about a higher top-line budget, although that's important too, and President Trump has pledged next year to spend $1.5 trillion on defense. That's a signal to the world, yeah, you better build faster. You guys aren't going anywhere. We need this facility. We need you. We need these subs. We need these capabilities, and we need them yesterday. And I can feel that urgency in this building. I can feel it from your leadership. I was taking a tour down that part of this warehouse on the way, and I could hear all of you. I was totally distracted, and I heard nothing. Because I could feel the energy coming out of this place from all of you. We're rebuilding that military because of Americans like you. And third, restoring the warrior ethos, rebuilding the military, and reestablishing deterrence. You see, deterrence is an active thing. It's not simply reputational. You can have a reputation until you don't. And then when you don't have that reputation anymore, adversaries take advantage, whether it's on a street corner or geopolitically. And what we saw in the previous administration, whether starting with the disastrous withdrawal in Afghanistan, what happened when Hamas attacked Israel on October 7th, what happened on our southwest border with the invasion, what happened with the Russian invasion of Ukraine, which never would have happened under President Trump. The world saw a different America where they thought we were open for challenge. The American people voted for something else. They voted for a commander-in-chief who will defend American interests and Americans here in our hemisphere and around the world. And so that meant locking down our southern border. We've gone 9 months without any crossing of America's southwest border. Again, no other country in the history of the world is capable of such projection of military might. And President Trump has pledged we will use that might to deter conflict, to ensure that American interests are advanced, Americans are secure. And that's how you see that power projection being used. It's a reestablishing of deterrence. So when the president says to Iran, hey, you should not pursue a nuclear weapon, Iran would be wise to negotiate. And just like every other place around the globe, when the president speaks, he means business. But the point of this Arsenal of Freedom tour is actually a simple one. That's a lot of talk about who we are and what we believe. It's to look you in the eye and thank you for what you do. To tell you that we see it from the halls of the Pentagon. We track it in the halls of the Pentagon. We watch your build rate, how fast you're going. Where are your bottlenecks? How can you go faster? We talk to your executives. What more can we do? How do we speed you up? Where do you need to invest for better facilities? How do you take care of your workers? How do we ensure that these exquisite capabilities pump out as fast as possible to ensure that any adversary in our hemisphere or around the world knows that today is not the day? And it's this capability specifically that you are all very well aware of that is the difference maker oftentimes in whether or not an adversary will decide to mess with us. You can't see it. You can't find it. You don't know where it is. It's a silent hunter. And the thing is, our adversaries know exactly what it's capable of. And that's what scares them. But they don't know where it is and they can't find it. And it's got incredible Americans right here running it. And it's got the expertise of these Americans behind it. My team's right here with me in the front, with their ear to the ground, listening to what you need. And everywhere we go, we get better ideas and concepts about how to address going faster, how to ensure we get to that solution quicker, how we outcompete our adversaries in space and undersea. Every single domain is going to determine who wins the next fight. That's why I was out at SpaceX. That's why we've been out at Blue Origin. That's why we've been out at Anduril. That's why we're here. That's why we're talking to big companies and small. We need every single aspect moving with the kind of urgency that we feel. Because my job is effectively simple. It's to serve all of you, to put you in a position to be overwhelmingly effective in that decisive moment where the country calls on you, where you're putting your life at risk for the man and woman next to you, but also for that flag on your shoulder. My job is, and that's why this Arsenal of Freedom tour, the defense industrial base, is so important. Because if we're getting you old equipment, or we're getting you equipment 3 years later when you needed it yesterday, you're less effective in your fight. And so this is you, this view right here with the cameras is all an extension of your fight. And that's what the Arsenal of Freedom tour is all about. So I ask all of you, I hope you'll go home and tell your spouse how much we appreciate it. Remind your kids what you work on, whatever you can tell them about it. Remind your kids what you work on. They should be proud of the kind of work that you do, of how you invest in our defense industrial base. I look out at my kids, they're all 15 and younger. I hope they wear a uniform like this or a hat like that. No one else is coming. It's the United States or nobody else. It's you or nobody else. It's the Navy or nobody else. We can't rely on anybody else. As a country, we have to come together with all the capabilities we can bring to bear to defend this precious freedom that we all love so much. Now it's time to keep going. Run as hard and as fast as you can in the conduct of your work, and know that at our level, it's appreciated, respected, and we know how important it is. God bless you, Godspeed, and God bless our warriors. Thank you all very much.
We'll be right back with more Breaking Point on Real America's Voice News.
America's in a fight for her soul. Our freedoms are under attack. Our values are being torn down. And the same corrupt elites who built this mess think they can silence us. The patriots who still believe in this country. Not a chance. Here at Real America's Voice, we're standing shoulder to shoulder with AMAC, the Association of Mature American Citizens, a movement that says we will not be silenced.
There is no force on earth that can stop us from saving our country.
And the voice of millions of patriots who refuse to kneel to tyranny. This is the movement of fighters, men and women who still believe in God, family, and the American dream. The conservative alternative to AARP.
Real rights, they come from God.
If you're ready to stand up and join the fight, go to amac.us/RAV right now. That's amac.us/RAV, because this isn't just about politics. It's about saving America. Faith, freedom, America first. AMAC and Real America's Voice, united for the Republic.
Stay tuned to get a free automatic toilet bowl cleaner from Mermaid. Your sink stopper's broken, but fixing a drain is such a pain. Not anymore. Introducing Mermaid Drain Magic, the instant solution to most broken drains. Simply remove and replace. In just seconds, you can fill and drain with a simple press of a button. Drain Magic makes replacing your old, broken, rusty, even missing sink stoppers fast and easy.
Practically took me 5 seconds to replace. It absolutely made my sink look like brand new.
Honestly,
I couldn't believe it. How could it work so well, look so good, and install so quickly?
And forget clogging, because Drain Magic's anti-clogging basket helps catch debris before it goes down the drain. When the basket's full, just discard. Helps prevent clogs in your sink by catching hair, food, even jewelry. Drain Magic uses a silicone gasket that creates a watertight seal without messy plumber's putty. Look, this sink was filled hours ago and the water still remains. Press the spring-loaded stopper and the water's gone. Made of brass and finished in high-quality chrome, Drain Magic is rust-resistant and built to last.
It's made out of metal, not plastic, and it actually has some weight to it. Yeah, this is the real deal. Just looks like a new sink now.
Order your 2-in-1 drain solution, Mermaid Drain Magic, today for only $19.99. And with every order, you're going to get a Mermaid automatic toilet bowl cleaner absolutely free. Just drop it in the tank for up to 3 months of hands-free cleaning. Mermaid's ultra-concentrated formula cleans and deodorizes with every flush. But wait, due to rising costs, this may be your last chance to get Mermaid Drain Magic at this incredibly low price with free Mermaid toilet bowl cleaner. There's a strict limit of 3. Call or click now to order.
Call 1-800-519-3206 or visit getdrainmagic.com. So call 1-800-519-3206 or visit getdrainmagic.com. Order now.
Last Monday was extraordinary, traveling with Secretary of War Pete Hegseth. Man, do the troops love him. I've been covering the rapid capabilities of the U.S. Navy, the Army, Space Command for a couple of months now. And there's a sea change going on in the military, in the Pentagon. And Pete Hegseth promising to cut through the red tape. And he says that Trump and him don't care if the defense contractors don't produce stuff on time. They have no problem switching. And they don't want, these big CEOs making all this money and then dragging out these military projects out for years and years and years, and that we can't spend 10 years at a time designing specs for our military equipment, something like the Bradley fighting vehicle, which took a long time to get into combat. And finally, they got it right, and it was really great in the first Gulf War. Took out more tanks than our M1s with their TOW missile system. But these guys are so awesome here at the Bath Iron Works. There were like 4,000 vessels created, or 5,000 over the last 400 years up there in Maine on the Kennebec River. General Dynamics took it from where there were strikes in 2020 and there was COVID and all these issues. They are back to full employment, and it's a town of only 9,000 people, but people travel an average of about 40 minutes each way to come all the way up near the Canadian border on down. You got harsh conditions in Maine, especially in the winter. These people are dedicated. 65-acre Navy Yard, building our Arleigh Burke guided missile destroyers, the Aegis systems, really amazing, and also the Zumwalt class, our stealth destroyers. So I've got more stuff on the ground showing you our time with Secretary of War Pete Hegseth. And again, another incredible reception by the hard hat workers, the guys building these ships, the dangerous jobs, the dirty jobs that they're doing. It's really unparalleled, I think, on the planet. The U.S. military is back on top. Trump's pledging, I think, to make the defense budget about $1.5 trillion because they don't want guys on welfare, and they want to fix the conditions on the base, and they're promising to cut the red tape. So that is a really nice thing to hear. And America is number one, and I want to show you our trip to the Bath Iron Works in Bath, Maine. Us here, we also have the Zumwalt class to my right here being built. We just delivered one, the USS Barnum, and we'll be delivering the USS Lewis Wilson in 2027 here. But over 5,000 vessels have been produced here in Bath, Maine over the last 200 years or so. This facility is great. The workforce comes from all over Maine to be here to work. The average commute being 40 minutes each way, or 40 miles each way here. But we spent the day earlier in Rhode Island in Quonset, and we had a great morning with 2,500 General Dynamics Electric Boat Division employees, they were fired up for Pete Hegseth chanting USA. They were loud and they were proud. They are delivering over there the new Columbia-class submarines that are 560 feet long, 43-foot beams, have a crew of about 150, and they're about 20 tons bigger than the Ohio class they're going to replace. Now, General Dynamics is the largest employer in Connecticut and Rhode Island with 25,000 employees, but they're adding another 8,000. And this all comes as Trump signed the executive order for defense acquisitions last year that was codified in the NDAA. The House Armed Services Committee, in a bipartisan effort, voted on and put into play, where we're going to be delivering rapid capabilities at speed and scale in cooperation with private industry and academia. So the wheels seem to be turning quicker. There seems to be a unified message in the Department of War here, and we'll be bringing you more. We've been following Pete Hegseth around, very, very popular with the workers and the troops. I'm David Zere for Real America's Voice News.
Yeah.
You can see all these things that people aren't relevant. These are highly specialized rollers.
But I need you guys to scoot this way as he walks.
Install. All that piping hanging down.
We're just not going to get anything behind us.
Yeah, that's all. More time here.
Today, General Dynamics Bath Iron Works is proud to be part of the Arsenal of Freedom tour, highlighting the manufacturing that delivers tools and technology to America's warfighters in the 21st century. And that's what we do here. We build the DDG, which is the workhorse of the United States Navy. There's no better symbol of manufacturing prowess than people here at BIW who design, build, and support the world's most sophisticated warship, the Arleigh Burke destroyer. For 400 years, people have been building ships along the Kennebec River here in Maine. The men and women of BIW continue that legacy, carrying on the tradition that Bath built is best built.
You guys just made my day. I'm here to thank you for what you do, the job you do, the way you do it. And I'm here to tell you to keep going. Go hard and go fast and get these capabilities to the warfighter. See, our job is to have the backs of those warriors, to ensure that they have everything they need so they're never in a fair fight. But we can't do that without you. What you're building here in Bath is essential to the arsenal of freedom. And nobody builds it better than you guys. make sure we're squeezing everything possible out of the best capabilities in the world. Ships front and center to that, but we're also addressing quality of life for troops. Getting after barracks improvements, new barracks, quality of life, and ensuring that they get paid what they should for the job that they do. We shouldn't have troops on food stamps. When I talk to President Trump, that I'm going to talk to a group like this, of folks in uniform or in hard hats, and say, what do you want me to say? And he always says, you know, Pete, just tell him I love him. As he does. He wants the best for our troops, and he wants the best for you. And that's why, in addition to rebuilding the military, we're reestablishing deterrence. You see, under the previous administration, whether it was the disastrous withdrawal in Afghanistan that reverberated around the globe, October 7th when Hamas attacked Israel, the war unleashed on Ukraine, which never would have started if President Trump had been president, or the radicals who fired on our ships in the Red Sea, our border invaded by millions, tens of millions of illegals, the world saw a country open for challenge. It didn't look like America was prepared to lead. Biden was asleep, and Lloyd Austin went AWOL. Especially for companies that can't make things on time. You should see the fire in the president's eyes when he looks at the size of CEO salaries for companies that are years behind and billions over budget on projects they owe the warfighter. Hell hath no fury like Donald Trump hearing about that. You see, when President Trump spoke over the radio to the Americans who went downtown to Caracas, he simply said, good luck and Godspeed. I know that you all make your own luck because you're the best at what you do. As was said, Bath built, as they say, is best built. You serve the troops. The recipe is simple. Keep going, and God bless. Thank you.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more Breaking Point on Real America's Voice News.
Hello, welcome to T-Town. Like man over 40 everywhere. These guys experience a drop in testosterone. Don't worry, it happens to all of us. Some guys took my advice about how to boost their testosterone, and some didn't. This guy got the message loud and clear.
That's right, Nugenix Total T2.
From the #1 selling testosterone brand at GNC comes Nugenix Total T2, a unique new formula that combines the ultimate free and total testosterone booster with a powerful nitric oxide booster that works in just 3 hours. Feel like a new man, leaner, stronger, with more energy and drive. Get your complimentary bottle by texting SURGE to 321-321.
Thanks. It'll make you feel like a new man. And by the way, she'll like it too.
You can only try before you buy with this special offer. Get your complimentary bottle now. Text SURGE to 321-321. Do it now and we'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X absolutely free.
Hi, I'm Dr. Ron Paul. For 50 years, I've watched Washington betray the American people with dishonest money. Nixon's closure of the gold window made endless debt and war inevitable. Today, our middle class, our currency, and our economy are dying in real time. In my new book, Dispatches to Future Generations, I reveal how we got here, plus the solution, gold. And that's why I'm partnering with Birch Gold Group to give you a free copy of my book along with their free info kit on gold. Click below to get both right now. Inside the info kit, you'll learn how to move your IRA or 401k into physical gold. So click below to claim your free copy of my Dispatches to Future Generations and Birch Gold's info kit today.
You push it. You try to hold them shut, but your doors won't stay closed no matter what. Introducing Ruby Monkey Magnets. Ultra-thin magnetic plates that will keep your doors and drawers shut. Just peel to reveal the super strong adhesive. Place the monkey, then the magnet, and close. Installation is that simple, and now you have a door that will stay shut. The secret is the ultra-strong industrial magnet's powerful attraction that holds tight. Monkey magnets work on most surfaces and are perfect for cabinets, dresser drawers, sliding closet doors, and more. Even your outdoor problems are solved in an instant because they're corrosion and rust resistant. Call or go online now to get 8 sets of monkey magnets for only $9.99. Due to rising costs, this may be your last chance to get monkey magnets at this low price. There is a strict limit of 1 house pack per order. Call now.
Call 1-800-519-4389. That's 1-800-519-4389. Call or visit monkeymagnets.com. So call 1-800-519-4389 now.
Welcome back, everybody. Real America's Voice was invited to participate as new media back in December at the Pentagon, and it has been a stellar ride since then. A few weeks ago, I was on the ground at Fort Bragg, meeting with the general in charge of Lieutenant General Greg Anderson of the 18th Airborne, home to the 82nd Airborne down there. These guys are amazing, and they're getting equipment to the warfighters at speed and scale, and I already saw some examples of it, which was really refreshing. And that's definitely something new, where they partner with private industry and academia to get wartime solutions. Real-time threats exist across the globe. And I got some time with Pete Hegseth when we landed at Joint Base Andrews after this incredible trip to Rhode Island, Electric Boat Division, where they make our nation's greatest submarines. And then we went to Anduril, unmanned autonomous vehicles that can roam the oceans and launch torpedoes against threats, and then to Bath Iron Works in Maine, building our guided missile destroyers. They're launching the Lewis Wilson next year. I think they just launched the USS Barnum. And Pete Hegseth, a really gregarious guy, on target, focused, laser focused on getting these systems delivered to our warfighters at speed and scale. Secretary Hegseth, how are you, sir? Good. How's it going? Dave Zere, Real America's Voice. In the last few weeks, I was with the head of the 18th Airborne, the commander of U.S. Space Command. There seems to be so much energy and enthusiasm out there. How did it make you feel today in the Electric Boat Division, the General Dynamics, and the Bath Iron Works with that incredible crowd coming out for you?
Spirit. The president calls it spirit, and that's what it is. You can feel it throughout the country. You feel it in our military. You see it in the recruiting numbers. You see it in the retention numbers. It's not just who's coming in. It's the guys that are in, that are staying in at historic rates and at high rates. Then you see it in the workforce, and that's why I'm glad you guys can come along and see this Arsenal of Freedom tour, and why our remarks are all public is because we're saying the same things out in the public that we are behind closed doors. We're all in this together. We got to move fast. We got to get the capabilities to the warfighters. And when everybody sees that spirit, everybody works a little harder, moves a little faster. So, yeah, we draw off that energy from the crowd.
A little bit of a sea change, right?
Well, I would say it's more than a sea change. I mean, you look at the sleepy, slow nature of the Biden administration. They couldn't get people to join. They lowered the standards and lowered the goal numbers in order to get the number of recruits and still couldn't meet it. We've raised the standards and raised the goals, and we're exceeding them historically. And at these companies, they say, hey, our workforce is more motivated than we've ever seen it before. That's our goal. We can't, like I said to the crowd, we can't resource our guys and gals unless these companies are delivering, whether it's small or large, from Anduril to the big ones, these capabilities that we need so urgently.
Thank you.
By building local officials on the ground here. How are you feeling now? Are you feeling a little bit more hopeful now as we head into the future? What's to come in 2026?
Of course. Yeah. I mean, and I think we're just seeing some of the policy changes we've made as I gave a speech on acquisitions and how we're changing that process. So some of it's, like I said, almost coming off a spirit, off a vibe, like, hey, let's go. Now that the reforms are kicking in, requirement changes, acquisition changes, the additional spending that's coming, this is just the beginning. I mean, I think we're seeing the front end of a surge. 26, 27, 28, 29, we're given long lead times on munitions. Companies are building new plants, not just, an additional shift, but it's a new plant next to a new plant next to a new plant, and companies are making their own investments to do it. That's how you ramp up our magazine depth, as we call it, the amount of munitions that we actually have. So I think we're just on the front end because the president has brought investment back, American manufacturing back, and we're bringing the defense industrial base back.
How did you feel seeing the response on the ground? All the enthusiasm, everyone really riled up to see you, really enthusiastic and hopeful about the future. How did that make you feel?
There was one moment where I was almost speechless in one of those remarks where I just sort of stopped and took it in. You always, that's why I encourage the cameras to turn around. Now I understand why President Trump does that, because the view that I had was one of the most beautiful scenes, just thousands and thousands of hard hats in the other direction. I saw some cameras turn around too. Thank you for that, by the way. That's pretty cool to see. That motivates us. It's not just rhetoric. Those hard hats deliver for our helmets, and that matters a lot.
You dropped an interesting little tidbit to the destroyer workforce when you said we're going to max out DDGs. What were you referring to?
Meaning we're going to ensure they've got long lead times on those platforms to ensure they know, hey, we're buying DDGs into the future. This is a workhorse for us in the Navy, and them knowing that means they can invest even more. So there's more to be revealed in FY27, FY28 budgets. But from this secretary's perspective, the DDG is going to be a part of it, and sharing that demand signal wherever we can helps ensure they can do even more capital investment up front.
So that was the tip on the 27 budget, possibly?
Probably. Yes. No, I mean, FY27 is what we're talking about right now. We passed FY26. The president's committed to 1.5. There's only so much capacity you can use in 27, so maxing it out means what kind of throughput can we actually put through, and we're working through that with the Deputy Secretary of War as well.
Thank you.
Yes.
You identified several policy changes the department was implementing to actually speed up and expedite some of the production. I was wondering, what are the specific choke points that you guys have encountered when it comes to regulations, or just like what are the issues? What's the hang up in some of these production facilities? Why have we seen delays on certain projects that are so important?
A lot of the hang up has been us. So we look at ourselves first, the way we do business. We've been impossible to deal with. A bad customer who year after year changes our mind about what we want or what we don't want, and then we make little small technological changes, which makes it more difficult for them to produce what they need to produce on time. So we have to fix our own house first, provide clarity, simplify the system, allow more people to access it, give that steady demand signal, which is what we're doing with munitions. I encourage folks to look at the deals we've cut recently with Raytheon, with Boeing, with other companies, Lockheed, on Patriot missiles, on THAADs, on other exquisite munitions. That's groundbreaking stuff. Our department's never done that. The Deputy Secretary, Steve Feinberg, is a whiz kid on these things, putting these deals together. The companies are investing because they know we're going to be buying into the future. That's just good business. We haven't operated that way before. And then things like requirements. There's mazes of requirements that this department has traditionally put on different systems and platforms that are impossible to navigate. And by the time you navigate them, you're 5 years behind the actual technology. So we're going to companies and saying, tell us what you can do based on the parameters of what kind of capabilities we're looking for, say in Indo-PACOM or Southcom or out in Europe. and let's tailor it accordingly. So it's changes on both sides. One more, if we got one.
I appreciate the nice Super Bowl halftime show message that you left for Turning Point USA. I'm with Turning Point. We really appreciate it. Just want to let you know that we appreciated that message, and we always appreciate the work that you guys do.
Well, as you know, Charlie Kirk was a dear friend of mine. That was for him. Yeah. This is all, what he's built, that ability to have kind of that dueling message to say, hey, we're going to be proud of the country and represent it properly. That was something that Charlie laid the foundation for the possibility of actually having. So good on Turning Point for standing up, and we're honored to be a part of it. Absolutely. Thanks for coming along with us today. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thanks.
I hope everybody enjoyed today's show. Next week, I got a really special interview with investigative journalist and best-selling author Peter Schweitzer, the author of Clinton Cash, and now he has The Invisible Coup, how American elites and foreign powers use immigration as a weapon against the United States. And we're going to talk about American generosity taken advantage of by Fidel Castro in the Mariel boat lift, emptying his prisons, kind of like what Venezuela did in the recent years, and also getting rid of his political opposition, and they came to the United States. But it's worse now. It's something more maniacal here, and what he calls the Reconquista, which is, this wave of Mexican influence in our consulates in and out of the country, and through the Mexican government, right? They're in on this. And the Mexican president, I think Obrador, who preceded Sheinbaum, who was his mentor, her mentor, was open about supporting a legal immigration into the United States. And this was a little different under Biden, though, than, say, the Mariel boat lift. Were we completely compromised in a plot for the Democrats to change the United States to a blue country, change the census with unfettered access through illegal immigration, supported by Catholic charities and NGOs coming up the Darien Gap, kids getting washed off the riverbanks in floods in the jungle, girls getting assaulted, sexually assaulted, sold into slave labor, sold into prostitution at the border? And how many lives has Donald Trump saved in the last year alone with the closed border for the last 10, 11 months? It's got to be tens of thousands of people. Will he get credit for that? Now, we're starting to see the crime numbers on the ground across the country shaping up where it's proof that there is definitely effect. And how many lives of overdoses has Donald Trump prevented people from dying across the country in the last year? We got to get a handle on those numbers. But also, Peter Schweitzer is going to talk about how there's 1 million registered Chinese voters that don't live in the United States. They can vote in our elections. They're registered here, but they live in China. So don't miss it next week. Thank you for watching Breaking Point on Real America's Voice News. I want to thank everybody for joining the Rav family and watching Breaking Point on Real America's Voice News. See you next time.
From powerhouse vocalist Natasha Owens, known for standout singles like Trump One and Somali Waltz, comes her brand new release, The Boss, released on Real America's Music. This is the direct response to Bruce Springsteen's recent release, The Streets of Minneapolis. While Springsteen once branded himself as a voice of the working class, The Boss gives a voice to everyday Americans and reminds listeners who truly shapes the future. The Real America's Voice audience has the power to move charts and shake the industry. Download it right now. Scan the QR code or search The Boss on iTunes. Push it up the charts. Make them notice.
Hey folks, it's your friend John Rich. I co-founded Old Glory Bank because we heard too many stories about people getting canceled by their bank because they didn't agree with their politics. The government wanted to know where you shopped. If you bought a Bible or you shopped at a sporting goods store, you're probably on a list. We created Old Glory Bank because America needed a bank that would protect their privacy and security. Exercising your constitutional rights is not a criminal activity, and neither is loving your country. At Old Glory Bank, we stand with you.
What do you do when your tire goes flat and there's no air anywhere to fix that? You reach for Bullseye Pro, the smarter, faster, hands-free way to fill it up with air. Bullseye Pro is equipped with a rechargeable lithium-ion power plant. So fast, so strong, and so convenient. It's like putting the power of an air compressor in the palm of your hand. Look, you can inflate all 4 tires of your car on a single charge, or inflate a bag full of soccer balls at practice. Bullseye Pro is so advanced, it has a built-in smart pressure digital sensor that gauges and automatically stops when the set tire pressure is reached. Plus, it can be 100% hands-free. You simply set the target pressure and walk away, keeping you out of harm's way. Bullseye Pro is lightweight, durable, and powerful enough to inflate this massive monster truck tire. Plus, it has 4 ultra-bright LED lights to safely inflate at night. Bullseye Pro comes with 3 custom air nozzles on board, so you can easily inflate pool toys, exercise balls, and more. Forget driving to the gas station. Bullseye Pro is your anywhere, anytime